Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My apologies. I'm having to do this online for some medical reasons. I have not been able to attend and be among you. Thank you for attending this evening. As you all know, we're here tonight for Australian Shia Gathering Places General Meeting. I'm their accountant. My name is Samir from BNS Tax Consultants, and I welcome you on board. Now, as we both know, the entity is heavily involved in collecting donations for people in Iraq and locally. For the year ended 31st of December 2021, the donations that the entity received were, as you can see on the screen, is $530,535, out of which $506,495, which is 95.5% of the collected donations, have hit their target, which of course are our orphans in Iraq. Balance for that year is only $24,000 left on hand, which of course the entity proposes to keep the hard work and send that money to Iraq at some point in time in the near future. All other donations beside the orphanage were valued at $391,450, out of which $88,553 being spent on the good deed of the entity. Leftover surplus out of this amount is $302,897, which of course the entity once again supposed to use these amounts towards the projects for the entity. Now, among these amounts, of course, the entity's members were kind enough to apply for government grants, and government grants are valued at $37,251 out of the $391,000. Now, in regards to the amounts and monies and assets held by the company, by the entity, the current assets are $103,786. What we mean by current asset is the assets that we can convert into cash straight away without any delays in the coming 12 months. And assets which are not convertible to cash in the coming 12 months are called non-current assets. For that non-current assets, the entity has $1,566,591 worth of non-current assets. So as it stands, the entity overall owns $1,670,377. Of course, all these monies are made possible with your kind donations and your hard work, everyone that's involved. Now, in regards to the liabilities that we have towards the entity, monies that we need to pay, rather they are minimal compared to other entities. Now, our current liabilities, which we ought to pay in the coming 12 months, is only valued at $260,754. And non-current, as we all know, the entity managed, with the grace of God, purchased next door building and the business involved in that building. For that reason, the entity obtained a loan from National Australia Bank, and rightly so, the members of the entity decided that instead of paying interest and waste donations, they would go to the community, borrow money from the community, and of course use that money towards not paying off the loan, but bringing the loan down. So the amount that's being collected from the community members, which is $260,000, that is to be paid back when called upon. So when these people need their money, we need to give them back. But of course, we utilize those amounts towards the loan to minimize our interest payable. So for that, in that regards, our total liability stands at $269,211 only. So our net assets owned by the community members, which is of course all of you and all involved, all stakeholders, is $1,401,166, which leaves the entity in a very, very good, strong financial position. Now, Of course, all these figures involved are in the financial report that we have supplied to the entity. You can refer to our financial report for the bits and pieces if you are interested. The reports will be, of course, uploaded to the ACNC. And of course, Mr. Syed Hassan already has the report with him. So if you like to read in deep detail with all the notes, please feel free to ask the management or the community members. I'm sure they will have no issues in providing you such documents. Now, with the grace of God, once again, we applied for the entity, for our orphanage, we applied through ACNC, and we have been able to register the entity as DGR, which means deductible gift recipient. Any monies that you or the taxpayer donates towards such an entity will be tax deductible. So in a nutshell, whatever monies you donate to the orphanage, you obtain a receipt from the entity or from the organization, and that receipt will, of course, be part of your expenses when the end of financial year comes and you need to do your tax return. This information will be required by our accountant at the end of the year. And of course, you can definitely check the status of any organization that you like to donate to. To be able to claim it as tax deduction, you must have it as a DGR register, which you can, of course, check our Australian Business Register, and that will, of course, allow you to see who or who is not registered for DGR. Now, that's different rules apply towards the DGR and the way you can claim your expenses. Of course, as I said, institutes like DGRs, like Australian Fund to Support Orphans and Needy, INC, is registered for DGR. So any money, once again, any money that you donate towards this cause will be part of your expenses end of the year comes. Now, I just made a very, very quick, small example just to indicate how this deduction works. See, let's say taxpayer X, Mr. X, he earns $100,000 in 2022 financial year. So if that taxpayer does not donate any money to a DGR registered entity, his tax will be $23,767. Now, we take the same scenario with taxpayer Y. If taxpayer Y earns exactly the same money in the same financial year, $100,000 in 2022 financial year, and he or she decides to donate $10,000 to a good cause, like the orphanage that we have in question, his or her taxable income will come down from $100,000 to $90,000 only. And that, for that reason, the tax saving will be $4,050 less in tax end of the year if you were to donate. So if you donate $10,000, you can save $4,000 in your taxes. That money will come back to you. A lot of people that do misunderstand this concept. They think that if I donate $10,000, $10,000 will come back to me in my tax return. No, it's not the case. It will be part of your expenses, overall expenses, and then you will be taxed. As indicated in this small, very, very simple PowerPoint that is in the screen, if you were to donate $10,000, your tax saving will be $4,050. We ask God to accept your prayers, to give you strength to support our people back home and all over the world. Orphans need our help. We are really thankful to your attendance this evening. We are thankful for your donations. Your donations makes everything possible, and we are giving life to some orphans back home or anywhere to that regards in the world. I'm thankful to you. Thank you for taking your time coming here. Finally, if I may, of course, with Syed Hassan's permission, I'm also the accountant for Ayadi Helping Hands. We are having a GM2 in the last Saturday of Ramadan Kareem. So we would love to see you all there. We would love you to support our disabled individuals in Iraq. They really need our help. Like orphans do, they need our help too. We have a lot of needy people back home. If you like to book, if you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to contact Ma'in, Ustad Ma'in, the translator, or Abu Harith or Sayyid Ahmed al-Sa'bari. They will pass on more details to you. Once again, I thank you for giving me this opportunity, and we wish you all the best, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your prayers. Thank you. Bye-bye.